Hey Team HMB, this is Erin Stern. This week I'll be doing a question and answer based on the questions you sent over on my Facebook page. The first question comes from Albrecht. He asks, how do you stay in shape during the holiday season? That's a great question. There are a number of different ways to stay in shape while enjoying the foods that you love. After all, it is the holidays. It only happens once a year. So I think it's important to indulge in the foods that you love and be around friends and family. So the first tip that I would recommend would be to train hard before you go in for a big meal, or train hard the day after. So that would be something, compound movements, either a leg day or a back day, and just really get that metabolism revved. The second would be choosy about the kind of foods that you want. Are you mindlessly noshing on junk, or is it something that you really, really love? Is it your aunt's special casserole or something that you really want to eat? If that's the case, then definitely indulge and eat without guilt. I think that's really important, and I think it's also important to plan a little bit. So when you look at the dinner, what foods do you really want, and choose those foods first and pair it with a half a plate of fruits and vegetables and things that are not going to really jack the calories up. So you can plan your plate out, and then also you can do carbohydrate cycling, where you might do a day of low carb before you go in for your big meal and just do a little carb cycling, and I think everything evens out. So don't let one day turn into a few days of a binge session. So just eat that one meal, enjoy it, and get back to the gym the next day. The next question comes from Kip. He asks, how do you avoid injuries that include high impact and high intensity exercises like sprinting? I've been getting shin splints from sprinting, even with brand new running shoes, but I love it and don't want to stop. Well, Kip, that's a pretty common injury with runners, and I think the first step would be to figure out what surface you're sprinting on. So if you're running on pavement, that's really bad. That will definitely lead to shin splints. You want to run on either a mondo, which is a rubberized surface, or you want to find a field, so grass that's nice, flat, level, no holes. And then make sure you build a good foundation so your sprint endurance is good. Run 400 repeats and then build your way up to 300. Then you can go out for 100-meter sprints. But just make sure that you've run at 60% of your max effort, and then you can run at 80. Don't try to go out and just sprint all out. And another way that I like to save my shins is to do my sprint endurance work either in the pool, on cardio equipment, in the sand, so I'll do sprints in the sand, and also do conditioning circuits. So there are ways to get your cardio endurance up without really taxing your joints, and then save your speed work for the track. So hopefully that helps. The next question comes from Kelly. She asks, getting back to the gym after injuries. I'm currently recovering from 2 broken legs and I haven't worked out in over a year. I'm sorry to hear about that, Kelly. Injuries can be really tough to get over. I think it's important to, perhaps start on machines, start light, and listen to your body. A lot of times we want to push through and we want to get back to the weights that we were moving before we got hurt. And when I broke my foot, I was the same way. I was on crutches and I was still in the gym doing upper body stuff. So there are ways that you can train around your healing injuries, and you can build up your endurance. You can even do the bike that you can bike with your arms. There's a machine for that. You can do a lot of conditioning circuits with just upper body, and then do a lot of body weight exercises for lower body until you build up your strength and build up your confidence. And the last question comes from Leanne. She asks, the when, what, and why on prepper supplements for maximum growth? Well, Leanne, if you're looking to achieve muscle growth, I think it's important that you get enough protein, and that should be in the form of whole foods for the most part. And a lot of us have a hard time getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and so myself included, I like to get a protein supplement, and creatine is definitely helpful. Get the creatine monohydrate, and that will help build muscle. And of course I love HMB. I take HMB and I take Betator, the clear muscle. right before my workout, and then I take H&B a couple of times a day. And I find that not only have I increased my strength, but my power has increased and my endurance has increased while taking it. And something else to maybe consider would be branched chains and glutamine, and that will help. Branched chains you can sip throughout your workout, and glutamine will help post-workout for recovery. So I like to keep it simple and do a lot of whole foods, but whole foods can only help so much. So I hope that helps. That's it for questions for this week. Until next week, train hard, y'all. Thanks.